You're watching Cape Media News, brought to you by Cape Media Center.
Tonight on Cape Media News, Santas arrive in Hyannis for an annual conference.
Plus, Duffy Health Center gives us a tour of their mobile unit.
And Dennis residents vote on repealing recreational cannabis ban. These stories and more are coming up next on Cape Media News. Good evening, it is May 10th, and welcome to Cape Media News, your source for hyperlocal news that matters. I'm Lauren Williamson.
And I'm Mitch Sock. Our top story tonight takes us to the Emerald Resort in Hyannis, where dozens of Santas, Mrs. Claus, and elves gathered to share Christmas tips, techniques, and ideas. Celebrating its 20th year, we stopped by the Santa convention last weekend to see if we could catch some holiday cheer to carry us through the summer. Take a look.
Welcome, everybody, to the 20th annual Northeast Santa Convention. Hello!
But this is our 20th year. It's probably about 15 years on the Cape. We come the same weekend, first weekend in May. We come here, we have workshops, we have camaraderie.
Parties. There is a Santa luau this afternoon.
That's right, a luau by the pool.
He told me I have to put an apple in my mouth. I said, I cut it on that Santa.
But I don't like to lay by the water because they roll me back in.
And we throw fish at you.
That's right. So we've got to be careful of that.
Yes. We get big crowds of Santas and Mrs. Clauses and any of the Christmas, should I say, characters all over the East Coast because this one is so well known after 20 years. And the good thing is that you've made lifelong friendships. So it may be just part of what we learn through a workshop, but all the rest of it is the lifelong friendships, and we pick little pieces off of each other knowing, you do it that way? You do it that way, let me do it this way. So it's really it's a gathering of the Santas and the like-minded.
Right. We even have people from Texas, Washington State. So, I mean, they come from not just the East Coast, all over.
And originally we started out with a one-day event in Rhode Island, and then we've moved around the Cape to a bunch of venues. But they've been great, and the things that you learn here is a camaraderie with other guys doing it, and then everybody has a different way of doing something, so you learn, and then you buy all the trinkets to do it, you know. So it's a very family-oriented thing among guys that do this. And every time you come in here, you say, wow, look at that outfit, look at that, you know, and you're thinking all the time. I normally wear just a complete red suit, and I saw vests and open coats, so I had one made last year.
I think that's one thing, too, is that anybody who wants their picture taken with Santa Claus, I mean, the man is right here. Santa Claus, and all of his brothers are here, and his sisters and wives. So pick out which one you want to get your picture with. Come on in and get your picture. Because I think every child is a thrill when they get their picture with Santa, and everybody turns into a child again when they get to meet Santa again.
Yep. Some of our brothers and sisters are no longer with us, which is at the dinner we will read off their names of past members that are no longer with us. And they're missed. I mean, your heart is touched every day. I mean, there are little children with special needs, adults with special needs. Everybody loves Santa, and Santa loves everybody. And that's what we do, you know.
Not only do we instill Santa Claus, but we try to instill the Christmas spirit.
That's right.
And God knows, if we need Christmas spirit, we need Christmas spirit right now in this world of what's going on. The more happiness that we can spread, the more in believing in each other and helping each other out, this is the time.
The Cape Cod Museum Trail is excited to have their 4th annual May Museum Mondays this month. Museum Mondays offer visitors no-cost admission to several cultural venues on Cape. On Monday, May 13th, participating venues include the Cultural Center of Cape Cod, Falmouth Arts Center, Provincetown Art Association, and Toad Hall Sports Car Museum. And on May 20th, you can visit the Atwood Museum, Cahoon Museum of American Art, Chatham Marconi Maritime Museum, and the Nye Museum. Check out each museum's website for visitation hours.
Barnstable County is alerting the public to another popular scam that they're dubbing Tollway Turmoil. This text message scam involves the target receiving a text stating that they must follow the attached link to pay a toll that is urgently due. This link likely leads to a fake payment website where cybercriminals can gather your personal information, banking info, or install malware on your phone. As a reminder, never click links from unknown sources and do not give out your personal information online. If you believe you've been a victim of a scam, contact local law enforcement to report it, and stay safe.
Congratulations to John Dixon of the Monomoy High School for being recognized as the American Lawyers Alliance as Teachers of the Year. The American Lawyers Alliance honors high school teachers who have contributed significantly to law-related education. In announcing the award, the ALA wrote, quote, "Mr. Dixon's recognition as the Teacher of the Year is a testament to his commitment to fostering a deeper understanding of civic responsibilities and our students' ability to have an impact. He has a passion for educating, inspiring, and empowering our future leaders."
The town of Barnstable will host a public workshop for the Marston Mills former school site master plan on Wednesday, May 29th at Liberty Hall in Marston Mills, starting at 6 p.m. This workshop will help the town gather community input for the future redevelopment of the 14-acre site that formerly housed Marston Mills Elementary School. Public input is crucial to inform the master plan and successfully establish goals for this land. For more information or to view the master plan, head to town.barnstable.ma.us.
Last week, we stopped by the Hyannis Public Library to meet up with Duffy Health Center's Melissa Payne and to learn more about their mobile unit program.
I am the Recovery Support Program Manager at Duffy Health Center. We are a federally qualified health center right on Main Street in Hyannis. We primarily serve individuals experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. We offer primary care, behavioral health, case management, and substance use disorder services. Our mobile unit, which is right behind me, is sort of a response to Cape Cod in general. So what we find when people are trying to access healthcare or treatment is that transportation on the Cape is incredibly difficult, and it's a barrier to care in all aspects of the continuum. So we wanted to be able to bring our services at Duffy, which are wraparound, sort of whole health, what people need, to the whole Cape. So we were able to purchase the unit. On the unit, there is a recovery coach, so recovery support staff that can link folks to treatment services, community support, harm reduction supplies, so whether that be Narcan or getting folks over to AIDS Support Group of Cape Cod or any other local harm reduction site for safe use supplies, testing, really looking at that harm reduction approach. There's a case manager that can work on housing for our unhoused population, can look at sort of general barriers. So what we find is, and what I think people don't really know until they peel back the onion, is that being unhoused isn't just about being unhoused, like getting to that next step, like having an ID. You need an ID and a social security card to fill out housing paperwork. But if you're living outside and you don't know where your backpack is and someone takes your backpack, you don't have that ID, and it just starts a whole, and also gaining employment or getting housing, being able to take a shower. One of the big things we found is giving folks access to basic needs, which is really what this unit, the pillar of it is there's a full shower on it. There's a full place to meet with individuals, do treatment intakes, all that stuff. We have a basic needs supplies, so clothing, clean clothing, fresh clothes, things like that. So if we're meeting individuals' basic needs, then we can look at those bigger concepts like housing, employment, like engaging in the community in an appropriate way, all those things. But we need folks' basic needs to be met first. And so it's really all about human connection. We really just wanna bond with folks and like foster a trusting atmosphere. So then people are willing to let us help them with that bigger stuff. So really being a part of the community, being accepted by the community is what the unit's about. On Monday mornings, we are over in Yarmouth at Yarmouth Comprehensive Treatment Center, which is our local methadone clinic. It's a great place to meet people as they're getting their dose and maybe going to work and don't have a place to shower before work. We've been able to offer a lot of people primary care services there, so getting enrolled with Duffy, who didn't previously have that link to healthcare. After the Comprehensive Treatment Center on Monday morning, we are at Dennis Union Church and then also at the Dennis Free Public Library. So that's a full day of Dennis and Yarmouth, really working in that community. On Tuesdays, we're in Falmouth, and we partner with St. Barnabas Church, who does a lunch for community members that day, where Housing Assistance Corporation and VinFen are there. So our unit is at St. Barnabas Church, offering showers and offering those supportive services that I talked about. On Wednesday, we are here in Barnstable proper. Right now, we're at the Hyannis Public Library. They've been an unbelievable partner. They're doing a lot of work for our community members, that especially the ones that are unhoused. So they have a food program going on where they have grab-and-go sandwiches inside. They provide us with books for individuals. We hope to beef this up as the summer comes on and move to different locations in Hyannis, but that's to come. And then on Fridays, we do a full day in Mashpee. So we go to the Wendy's in Mashpee. They've been wonderful letting us be right in that front parking lot. We go to the Mashpee Public Library, and we also go to One Shared Spirit, which is a peer drop-in. They're also a harm reduction site. They offer Narcan and SSP services. And they do a lot of supportive work with the Mashpee community in terms of substance use disorder. So that's our schedule for right now. We are obviously hoping to continue to grow and expand. We have served a lot of people so far. So I think our job now, especially as the weather gets warm, is to really get our staff out there, find some new locations, and really be where people need us.
Coming up after the break, sports and more. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Mitch Sock.
And I'm Lauren Williamson. The town of Dennis held their annual town meeting this week at breakneck speed. Coming in at just over an hour, voters sailed through the 28 articles in the warrant, with the last article a citizen petition to repeal the ban on recreational cannabis dispensaries, garnering the most debate. Take a look.
We're a little bit behind the times on this one compared to the other towns on the Cape. 9 of the 15 towns on Cape Cod allow these stores without any sort of issue. It's also allowed on both Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. Within the last year, the towns of Bourne, Brewster, and Sandwich all reversed their bans on this, and I believe they're all by citizen petition like this. So to show you the kind of money we're talking about, Mashpee collected $350,000 last year in excise taxes alone. And think about that, that's on a recurring basis every year. So, we're at a time where we need to be trying to get as much, diverse sources of tax revenue as possible. We're facing unprecedented capital needs in this town. And the fact that, there's no other options in the Mid-Cape area presents a lot of additional revenue potential. I think, I can confidently say, the town of Dennis could see upwards of, maybe $500,000. That's just kind of a guess looking at how other towns do. And something I want to underscore is that this petition will have no impact on product demand or usage, but rather seeks to regulate and tax the supply. I think that's an important point. So we're not talking about more marijuana being smoked in town. We're just talking about it being bought from a legal and taxable entity. Think back to, was it a better scenario in the 1920s when we prohibited alcohol and, basically the mafia took over that? No, it's better to have modern day liquor stores that regulate it and tax it and make sure people of proper age are buying. And, with the no proven negative community impacts, we're talking about free tax revenue that we're not taking advantage of. It's a missed opportunity. We have over a $200 million sewering project that we have to implement in this town. And I don't know about you, but I don't want my property taxes to be, constantly looked at as a source to fund the additional costs that will undoubtedly come up. So I ask for your support tonight. I consider this a common sense approach to something the town could benefit from that will improve the town. That will have no negative impacts, and I look forward to the discussion. Thank you.
KP Law, our town's legal team, has reservations about how this article was written, as do myself and a majority of the board. I do not support this article. And the way it's written, it would require a ballot question. And if this is something that our citizens truly want, then it would be better for the town to bring it forward with our legal team. But again, I do not support this article, neither does a majority of the board. Thank you.
I truly believe that many citizens in the community look to the Select Board, the Planning Board, and the Finance Committee for their knowledge and their recommendations. All three of your committees in town, the Planning Board, the Select Board, and the Finance Committee, are not recommending this article. Thank you.
I'm not sure why our town boards are not recommending this. As the presentation said, Brewster, Orleans, and a couple of other towns repealed their ban. They are reaping the benefits. They're also creating jobs, good paying jobs. Despite whatever your opinion might be about this, there are health benefits that many people in this town need to benefit from, and they don't want to have to drive to Brewster or Orleans and the rest of the Outer Cape. We are missing out on a huge benefit, not only financially for our taxes, but for the residents so that we don't have to go as far away as other people have to go. I support this. Again, I don't know why these boards are not supporting it. They're here to help us get revenue, to keep our tax rate low. Thank you.
When I want to buy a bottle of wine, I go to Ring Brothers or Northside Liquors. I would like to do the same when I purchase my cannabis. I'd like to support local businesses, but instead I go to Brewster or to Eastham, and I do not understand why we would not give voters the option to weigh in on this.
There's been a case here that's been made for an increase in revenue with no apparent side effects or impacts to the community. The Select Board has an opinion and a position, but that hasn't really been shared. So even though I appreciate your position, unless you make the case for the alternative, it's difficult to vote in your direction. So is somebody willing to make the case for why this is inappropriate? Just to say we voted against it doesn't contribute to me having a different opinion than I have. I'm looking for the alternative argument that's logical. Thank you.
Further discussion? No. Now keep it up and we'll handle it another way. We do not allow applause at town meeting. Those in favor of the petitioner's motion will indicate by raising your right hand, showing your voter tag. Those opposed will indicate by raising your right hand, showing your voter tag. There were 130 in favor, 98 opposed. The requisite 2/3 is not met. Therefore, the article is defeated.
The Treasured Life Initiative is hosting their first annual Not on My Cape Walk to help bring hope and independence to survivors of sex trafficking. This fundraising event will feature speakers such as survivor Reverend Catherine Boyle and State Representative Steve Exaros, Cape and Islands District Attorney Rob Galliboy, and Barnstable Police Detective Kate Parrish. The walk will begin at 11:30 at Hyannis Village Green. To learn more or to sign up for the walk, head to treasuredlifeinitiative.org.
Last week, a small airplane hangar at Gateway Airport was host to a big event, the 2024 Big Blue Conference. This two-day event saw leaders in green innovation gather from all over Massachusetts to tackle issues facing our blue economy. Day one was all about electric power. Representatives from Eversource, Cape Air, MassDOT Aeronautics, and Beta Technologies discussed the logistics of ensuring electric power accessibility on Cape, including the airport's new microgrid project. To end day one, Avangrid's Chief Development Officer Ken Kimmel took the stage to address wind power and local controversy. Day two's theme was coastal resiliency. Experts on coastal stabilization and environmental protection, such as Dr. Sarah Sharp from ITHAW, Aubrey Church of Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance, and local celebrity and shark expert Greg Skomel shared their initiatives to ensure the prosperity of the Cape's coastline and the wildlife that inhabit it. Join the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce at the next year's third annual Big Blue Conference to learn, share, and inspire action that will protect our beloved home for years to come.
And calling Dennis residents, the town of Dennis invites you to a community housing meeting on May 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Dennis Center for Active Living. Join in for an educational and interactive dialogue to learn more about different types of housing and strategies to address the imperative demand for fair and affordable housing development. Enjoy light refreshments as you help shape the future of housing in Dennis.
Cape Cod Cooperative Extension is working with the New England Center for Excellence in Vector-Borne Diseases, or also known as NUVEC, to find the best methods of residential tick control in the area. NUVEC is in their second year of Project Itch, or Is Tick Control Helping? The goal is to gather information about different tick control tactics on residential properties, and it assesses the best methods, and they need your help. By completing the survey at nuvec.org/itch, you'll help NUVEC and Cape Cod Cooperative Extension better protect residents from tick-borne diseases. NUVEC will provide participants with a free property evaluation to estimate your risk levels and recommend the most appropriate tick control measures. And lastly, this evening, we send it to Ryan Downs with a recap of This Week in Sports.
Welcome back to the Cape Media News Sports segment. I'm your host and local sports guy, Ryan Downs. It is week 6 in the spring season, and just like the weather, the competition is heating up. Let's get into all that happened this week in sports. Our stories are all about girls lacrosse this week. We had the opportunity to attend the DY at Monomoy girls lacrosse game this past Tuesday. DY has been struggling this year as they entered the game with the record of 4-5. On the other hand, Monomoy entered the game on a short 2-game win streak, looking to push it to 3 and holding a record of 6-5. After losing the first draw, Monomoy dominated, scoring an unanswered 4 goals before DY took a timeout to regroup. It was 6-2 at the end of the first quarter. Monomoy was able to control the ball and run their offense to their liking, and they had a comfortable lead of 11-4 heading into half. It was like a different DY team had come out for the second half. They were able to make some crisp passes to move the ball around and play some tough defense, resulting in a 6-5 second half score. That being said, Monomoy defended their home field and won with the final score of 17-9. And we had planned to catch another game on Wednesday, but the weather didn't agree, so we got more girls lacrosse for you. Last Thursday the 2nd, at the time, the 3-3 Lady Redhawks hosted the 6-2 Lady Seahawks of Cape Cod Academy, who were on a 3-game win streak. The Seahawks scored first, but the Redhawks responded shortly after. The first quarter ended in a 1-1 score. The second quarter saw Barnstable start to pull away, as they scored 3 unanswered to make it 4-1 heading into the half. And just like the first half, CCA came out playing fast and scored 3 quick ones to tie it up back at 4-4. And I'm sure the rest of the game must have been exciting as heck. My theory is the game got so crazy, someone was celebrating so much they bumped into the wire and caused the stream to go down. But the Lady Redhawks were able to outlast the Lady Seahawks, winning with a final score of 10-9. While we're on the topic of Barnstable, let's get into the weekly score summaries. The baseball team is red hot right now. They won both of their games this week and are on a 3-game win streak. The team combined behind the efforts of Eric Stanley and Owen Walsh for a no-hitter versus Martha's Vineyard. Not only that, they had 15 hits of their own in a game that resulted in a 14-0 final score. As of the latest power rankings, which were updated on the 7th, Barnstable's baseball, boys and girls lacrosse, and boys and girls tennis would qualify for playoffs. DY baseball and softball teams turned it around this week as they combined for a record of 4-1. Both teams exclusively played other Cape teams this week. While baseball lost the series 0-2 to Barnstable, they were able to take down Mashpee and Monomoy, completing the sweep of Monomoy this year and splitting the series 1-1 with Mashpee. The softball team won both their games this week versus Barnstable and St. John Paul II, completing sweeps on both of them for the year. If the season were to end today, only DY's baseball and girls lax team would be moving on to the postseason. And Monomoy remains the top school on Cape for athletics this season. All of their girls' varsity sports combined for a record of 8-2 this week alone. And just like last week, all 6 of their rankable teams, baseball, softball, boys and girls lax, and tennis, would qualify for postseason play if the season were to end today. And while Monomoy has the most teams qualified for the playoffs, Nauset is the only school with any teams ranked inside the top 10, and they have 2. The boys lax team owns the 6th spot in Division 3, and the girls lax team sits at number 10. Both boys and girls tennis, as well as baseball, would qualify for the postseason. And that's it for this week's Sports Update. Back to you, Lauren and Mitch.
Thank you for joining us this evening. If you have a story that you would like to see covered, send us an email at newstip@capemedia.org.
And tune in every week for more hyper-local news that matters on Channel 26, Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV.
And be sure to follow us on all of our social media, including Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. For Cape Media News, I'm Lauren Williamson.
And I'm Mitch Sock.